Hey everyone, just wanted to introduce the next set of clips that are coming. You'll see more of what's being done to protesters, how they were treated, as well as people who were being released from the detention center and giving accounts of what happened there. Again, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg of everything, but you're just getting an idea because I was only able to get my camera out later in the evening when I was at home. And yeah, I just wanted to also briefly touch on, which I did in the first clip, that the previous day on Saturday, June what day would that be? The 26th, that there were police cars set on fire, and people say, it was the Black Bloc, and people who were looting and destroying windows of like Starbucks and of the banks, which I don't condone, though I can understand why they're doing it against these corporations that I may not like, but again, I'm not condoning it in any way. But the police cars, I believe, and the news touched on this as well, were left there on purpose as a decoy to, deter people. But what's more important is that the police didn't come and respond to it, as they'll say in the video, that there was fires, there was the public safety for hours, for quite a while. No police response, no fire trucks. There wasn't even a hydrant beside where the police car was set on fire and exploding and sparks coming out. Did they do anything? No, they didn't do anything. Yet when people walk down the street and are hemmed in a corner, they're arresting them. So that's really makes no sense at all. Though it does, actually, if you look at the reason behind it, again, to distract people, focus on the bad protesters, who unfortunately ruin it for other people. But it's just, there were people, there's the co-op manager, not that we really have a manager, but the manager in my building was in the area because she was shopping at Queen Spadina on the Saturday. And she said when she crossed on Spadina around the corner, while the car was on fire, there were at least 6 police officers just eating their sandwiches, doing nothing. While police cars being set on fire, while people were looting, nothing done, not a concern. Just thought I'd mention that again, and I also wanted to thank CP24, which is quite a surprise because usually CBC I find to be more accurate, but props to CP24 for, doing the best they could to cover what was really going on. And again, my heart goes out to all the protesters who were peaceful, for what they had to go through. And if you have clips you want to share, I'd love to link it as a favorite on mine, and network, and united we stand, divided we fall. Enjoy.
She was just confused because they tell us to go one way and then they tell us to go another, and then they'd start beating their batons.
Like frightening it.
Yeah, it was.
And still no reason was given to you at any point.
No.
And I want people to understand that this wasn't a protest. There were maybe 30 people in the area who, as soon as the riot police surrounded us, they were removed from the group. These were all people in downtown Queen and Spadina, where all the TTC traffic goes. Everybody I spoke to was waiting for a bus, and they all missed their buses. They're all now stranded in Toronto.
If you could just put yourself in these shoes right now, for those of you who are watching at home. Pouring rain here, and you're held for several hours with a bunch of people you don't know. You're just walking on Queen Street. This is what's happened here today on Queen and Spadina. These people were just held, nothing to do with the demonstration, for several hours. Yeah. And you're just going to bring in someone else.
Kelly, sorry.
And you were talking to me about you didn't feel like you were in Canada.
Well, yeah, we were saying that we thought this was a democratic country where citizens have rights to walk down the streets without being trapped in every direction. The police had told us that they had given us a warning and that they had told us to leave, but none of that had actually happened. We tried to get out that way because they had come from all 4 directions of the intersection and just trapped us right in the intersection of Queen and Spadina.
We asked to leave, and we were refused the right to leave before we were barricaded. And as they were approaching us, we said, "Can we go this way?" And they said, "Turn around." So we weren't allowed to leave. We were caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Now, I know it's hard to tell, and this may be a difficult question to answer. Do you think that there were people who were protesters in that crowd? Could you tell? Were there mostly just civilians? Were there mostly protesters?
There's 90% were civilians. 90%.
There was a walk that had actually been going down Queen Street, and like it seemed like more of a festival. It was very peaceful. It was just people literally walking down the street, and that's why we didn't feel threatened at all. And then everywhere, every corner that we turned down, there were police with their shields up, barricading us, and we couldn't get by.
Thank you so much, girls. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I hope you warm up, and I hope you're okay. These are people, individuals that just came to me. They didn't. I was trying to look for individuals. They came up. They're like, we want to tell our story. We want to tell you what happened here today. So that's what you get. Here are their stories from today at Queen and Spadina. Back to the studio now.
I would say that we were just standing there. I mean, I was walking by, I was taking pictures of the protesters. I was there yesterday taking pictures when the Black Bloc was destroying and vandalizing the city. Nothing like that was happening today. I was just taking pictures, and I was walking along with people who were walking their dogs, and the protesters and the people who were just bystanders sort of got in the middle, got together because police started pushing from all angles. And we were standing out in the rain. I don't even know. Nobody was keeping track of time for the past 4 hours. The police, they don't really know what's going on. And then they finally released us. People who were voluntarily arrested, who walked up to the police to be taken away in handcuffs, they are now going to who knows, the detention center. We waited it out. We weren't arrested. They said that the people who voluntarily left were disturbing the peace. And, we were just there as bystanders, and they finally let us go.
You were asking them questions, you were trying to find out, you were on CV24 when you wanted to get an explanation of why you were being held and for how long, but you never got any word on anything.
No, it seems that, the only time the message really started to get through to anybody was actually when I called Kamutha from CP24. And when CP24 started calling the media and started calling the police and started calling everybody, that's when things really seemed to start changing on the ground. But, we were still standing in the rain for 2 hours, and, most people were bystanders. They already arrested everybody who was there protesting.
That's what we're hearing. A lot of them that we're speaking to just kind of were at the wrong place at the wrong time. But I find it kind of hard to understand why so many people would go to that area knowing that there's the potential for trouble. You just wanted to capture pictures is it for York University or for...
It was really just for myself. Actually, this morning I sent all my pictures of the block yesterday that I got. I sent them to the police to help, because they had a call out on Twitter to help identify people who were vandalizing everything. So really, I really didn't think anything was going to happen like this today. I mean, yesterday I was standing near a police car when it was burned, and the stuff inside started to explode, and nothing like this happened yesterday. This is what should have happened yesterday. Is the police should have been taking a stronger stance yesterday when this was going on. They've been doing a great job. I don't know what happened in the past 6 hours.
That's what we're trying to understand as well. And we've been trying to get in touch with Bill Blair, the Toronto Mayor, David Miller. Nobody wanted to comment on this, but I can tell you, Sammy, they're holding a quick news conference at police headquarters. As soon as everybody gets mobilized, we're going to get up there, and the staff superintendent is going to be speaking to this issue because a lot of people want a lot of answers. We all understand that the Integrated Security Unit had work to do and had intelligence that we might not know about, but by all accounts, including yours, in this particular situation, we're hearing that none of you were involved in the protest at the very least, and that for sure weren't about to torch any police cruisers that you are aware of. Now, what they know might be something completely different.
Well, they were picking people off from the crowd when they first started locking us in. And that stopped about 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago when it started to rain. As soon as it started raining, we were, luckily I got under somebody's umbrella. But a lot of people weren't so fortunate, and really, we were just standing there, looking around, seeing what's going on. People were crying, people were on the floor. And, a lot of the police were standing around. It didn't really look like they knew what was really going on
and
either.
Maybe they didn't. What do you do, Sammy? I know there's some connection with York University, but are you a student? Or?
No, I'm not a student. I work for an organization called the Canadian Network for Israel Affairs.
Okay, so you're out snapping pictures during the G20 summit here in Toronto, and look what happens. You're still shaking a little bit?
I am.
Did you get to the washroom yet?
No, I didn't get to the bathroom.
Okay, you better go.
Corral at Queen and Spadina.